So how's it going, everybody? This is Matt once again from Bravo Foxtrot United Veterans Inc. We're here today with John Tasoulas and Valerie Gibbs, both of whom are veterans. Today is New Year's Eve, December 31st. We have a really powerful message that I am so excited to put out to everybody. I'm really psyched about this, and hopefully everybody listening in some way can connect to what we're talking about. The essence of the message that we're putting out tonight is, when we build upon love over fear, we can have a powerful change in the world that we live in. So first, we are gonna start off with Mr. Tasoulas, John, Army veteran, who I'll let you do the talking, but this is some really cool stuff. He served in Vietnam, in Germany during the when they were divided between East and West Germany, and also Desert Storm. 1971 to 1991, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Yeah.
John, can you, if you don't mind, just talking about how we met, how did you meet me, Bravo Foxtrot, and then a little bit about your service, please. Thank you, sir.
Well, I met Matthew. I was coming down here on my bicycle one day. I was riding down there, and Matthew was outside. He saw my hat, Vietnam veteran's hat. He said, "Are you a veteran?" I said, "Yes." And they came in, and he helped me with clothing and clothes and things like that. And then ever since then, it's been like, I don't know, a few weeks now since I've been coming here. So that's how I met him.
Maybe a little bit about your service also, like you want,
Yeah.
I know I already hit it, but I'm sure they want to hear from you.
Well, I went to service 1971. I enlisted at 17, and I stayed in till 91. And my first tour was in Vietnam. I had a year tour in Vietnam. I was 11 Bush. I drove 113 personnel carriers in Vietnam, hauling platoons of men around the area. And then I was there. And then after that, I had a tour in Germany. I was there for quite a few years, and during that time, Germany was divided. East and West German border was divided. So my duty there was to man OP Alpha, which we manned for about 6 months, and then we'd do border patrol for another 6 months, and then we'd do manned border operations for another 6 months. And I did that for quite a while, and that was my duty. I drove jeeps up and down the East and West German border, and 113 personnel carriers, and also we patrolled the border from I don't know, I'd say maybe about a good 20 miles. We patrolled the border on the East-West German border. And then after that, then I had a tour in Desert Storm. I was transportation, and we would support the active Army troops. The first, it's 82nd, the 101st Airborne Division, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd Armored Division. We would haul ammunition and supplies, and I thank the Lord that we were supposed to haul body bags, but I thank God we didn't have to do that. But that was our job, and I did it 6 months.
Okay. So do you mind if I jump in? So one of the most interesting things now, when I met John and we got to conversating, I'm so intrigued by the Vietnam War. I'm an OIF, OEF, and OND vet, and but I'm so intrigued by the Vietnam War because these guys, they came back, and they came back to a country who called them baby killers and spit on them and look down upon them. Now, opposite of that, in the Desert Storm War, now correct me if I'm wrong, they were looked at as heroes.
Exactly.
So
parades and everything.
Parades. Now, John's in the unique position where he was able to see both ends of the spectrum.
That's right,
there.
exactly, that's right.
And John said one thing to me that really stuck in my mind. I was thinking about this all night last night. It was, John, why do you think that when you came back from Vietnam, that animosity towards the soldiers was how it was? He said, and correct me if I'm wrong, John, but he said to me, because we didn't win that war.
Yep, that's right.
I thought that was very, very interesting because now if we had won that war, could it have been different? Controversial topic. I know I don't like to get into conspiracies, but I'll tell you this. In my opinion, if we had, the media, especially back in the late 60s, early 70s,
right,
was absolutely controlled, especially in an area of operation where the media was controlled absolutely and totally by the government. So anything that the public heard was completely controlled by the media that was in Vietnam. So the fact that there were baby killers and all this, that was, to me, I would go out on a limb, and I am a proud veteran, don't get me wrong. I do not want that to be mistaken. But to me, if that was released, it was on purpose. Propaganda. So, John, I mean, can you speak a little bit on that? I mean, you're the subject matter expert on this, not me. I'm just...
Well, like I said, we came back from Vietnam, like I said, like he said, we were spit on and we called baby killers, and we didn't have respect at all. Because during that time was like the hippie generation, peace, love, so when we came back, we just didn't get got so disrespected so badly, I mean, then again, when I came back from Desert Storm, we were heroes. They had parades for us and everything because we won that war. And I think that we got disrespected when we came back from Vietnam is because we didn't win that war. And I feel if we did win that war, I think it would be the same thing as when we came back from Desert Storm.
That's something for everybody to think about. But more importantly, right now, I'd like to ask you about the very prevalent and very important topic of mental health, PTSD, as the majority calls it, but as we like to call it here at Bravo Foxtrot, PTS. And leave out the disorder, leave out the D. Can you talk a little bit about your experiences with PTS,
Yes,
both in Vietnam and the Gulf?
Yes, well, when I was when I came back from Vietnam, I mean, I would look for a place to hide. I couldn't stand any loud noises, and every time I hear loud noise or jumper, I was looking for a place to hide. If I don't find a place to hide, so I don't get killed. And I have these constant nightmares because of that, because of what I seen through Vietnam, the killing, the death, and that's been. I've been diagnosed with PTSD since 1991, and I still have trouble today, even of sleeping at night, and when I hear a loud noise or something like that, I jump in, especially when I hear a siren. Now, when I was in Desert Storm, we had the Scud attacks, and the siren was the same as the fire siren around this area. And matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago, I had a bad episode. I was staying at a friend's house.
You came here and talked to me about it.
Yeah, I stayed at a friend's house, and I heard a siren go off, a fire siren go off, and I got up. I didn't know where it was. I was looking for a mark here, and I just made beeline through and just got out. And then when I got out, it was in a apartment complex, a whole bunch of big buildings. And when I got into the complex, I was looking for a place to hide because when we had a Scud attack, we put our mop gear on and we'd have to go in a building for cover. And I was doing this. I was looking for a place to hide. There was no place to hide, so I just walked away and ran. And I didn't know where the heck it was, and I just walked around for I don't know how long until I calmed down. And those are bad experiences I had.
And it was only a couple days ago, John came in here, and I say this all the time, but it is so true. I was so humbled when you gave me a call and you were, Matt, what's the location of the shop? I'm up here, and you came in, and when you felt comfortable to talk to me about that. I mean, that is what this is about.
Exactly.
That's what this is about.
It is, exactly.
This is not about exploitation of veterans. This is not about, people who have not lived this life trying to make a nickel off the back of vets because it's a profitable source or a profitable target group. This is about veterans helping veterans. It takes one to know one. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for John. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Valerie. And, I can't say enough about how there's a change that needs to be made. It's very prevalent. John, I wanna ask you about one more thing. Before we move over to Valerie, and that is John served from 1971 to 1991. He's a retired veteran, right? 20 years. We all know that. It used to be 10 years, partial retirement. I'm not sure exactly the year it changed, but regardless, he served a full 20. Honorable discharge. John is, if you don't mind me saying, John, he's already told me he doesn't mind. He's 100% total and permanently disabled veteran according to the VA. He receives that due to his mental health issues that he's receiving, as you can see, are very real. He also receives his Social Security, but I'll tell you what he's not receiving. He's not receiving his pension. He does not receive his pension from 1981, and now we are one day before 2022. This man serving 20 years for our nation to preserve the rights and the sovereignty of every single citizen that lives within this country in this bubble of safety that was won through blood and sweat and tears. And I think that words can't even describe it. John, can you talk a little bit about that before we move on about it? I know it's a tough subject, so.
Well, like I said, when I got my disability, my 100% disability,
Man,
I was told by the VA administration that I couldn't collect my retirement because I get disability.
What?
Yep, and I've been living on my disability since '91, but they said you can't get your retirement even though you put in 20 years because you collect disability instead.
Now, listen here. Now, a lot of you folks that are listening to this, you may not be from New York, and I love all states, including Oconus states, outside the continental U.S. for you non-military folks. But I'll tell you what, in New York, $3,400 a month, tax-free or not, we're struggling.
Yes.
We're barely scraping by.
That's right.
And somebody who served 20 years deserves, in my opinion, their pension and any injuries, whether mental or physical, that they receive due to their service should have no effect upon their pension. Now, this is some real stuff we're talking about, John. I'm gonna, we're gonna get back to you in a minute.
No problem.
Miss Gibbs, she's a Navy vet, like myself. Hoo-yah. Miss Gibbs, please. Yep.
Well, yeah, I joined the Navy at the age of 27 in 1981, and I had planned to do a full 20 and retire, but circumstances occurred during active duty that prompted me to not re-enlist, and also resulted in my 100% disability, permanent and total. I've had two traumatic things happen, and I don't mind sharing that.
Please.
I had a misdiagnosis on a condition, and it required emergency surgery. And that was the start of my PST because it sent me into a very deep, deep depression. I then saw a few I didn't see any doctors there. This was in the Philippines at my first duty station, Naval Station Subic Bay, Philippines, which is no longer in existence. But when I got to my next duty station, which was the Navy Recruiting District Headquarters, Area 1 for New York, which was here in East Meadow. I'd say I arrived in September, and on my mom's birthday, that December 13th, 20 sticks of dynamite blew up our building.
Wow.
10 were on my side, where my office was, my seating area, and 10 was on the other side. There were 2 exits. It was in a civilian building on Hempstead Turnpike. So
Nassau County.
yeah, Nassau County. So we didn't get the call, and it just fortunate that one of the petty officers who never went to lunch stepped out that day, and she saw the civilians outside. She said, "What's going on?" They said, "You didn't get the call. There's a bomb in the building."
Wow.
So she comes flying up the elevator to the CO and XO's offices and says, "There's a bomb in the building. We got to evacuate." And as soon as she said that, I just flew out and I ran right past the bomb that was right by me. And no sooner had we got downstairs, the bomb squad was heading up while we were heading down. And I just made a casual joke, like, remember the bomb scares in high school? And then kaboom, you know.
No.
All right, so one of the bomb squad guys got injured, but I didn't know all this until the next day. They wouldn't let us take our cars. They had to sweep them. And the next day we had captain's call at Mitchell Field. And all the guys are coming up to me, "Yo, Gibbs. I said, "What?" They said, "You would have been ghost. You would have been dead. Your whole area blew up." Oh, God. And it just,
Life-changing.
yes. And we had to
Life
go into
changing.
captain's call, and the captain recognizes us and, says we should take the petty officer out to lunch, me and the chief, because she saved our lives. Not, most of all, because we were in the ground zero areas. And I stood up and I said, "Sir, how do we know there's not a bomb in this building right now? I'm very uncomfortable being here." And he just said, "Okay, you get, what did he give me, like 14 days leave?" So, and it still didn't help. So what happened after that, to make a long story short, is that I was afraid to go back in that building, and I had, my whole behavior changed. The PTSD kicked in so hard that I'm embarrassed to say that I didn't care about nothing. I didn't want to go in a building. I didn't want to put my uniform on. I didn't want to be in that building at all, in that vicinity at all. I started drinking. My PTSD had to mask my pain. I was drinking, doing drugs. I mean, not even caring anymore. I went from a 4-0 sailor to almost getting kicked out. But fortunate for me, my re-enlistment happened at a point where I got out just in time and got my honorable discharge.
And for those of you who don't know, when she refers to a 4.0 sailor, that's basically like you're a top of the line. You get your evals, and you're rated as a top service member.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about, and I think the message that Valerie, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that mental health, PTS, post-traumatic stress, let's leave out that D, again, it's a real thing, and it's different for everybody.
Yes.
And I think we're in a world today where we're able to understand that that physical health is not more important than our mental health. If anything, it may be adverse. So, Valerie, if you could tell us, please, like, how did you find out about Bravo Foxtrot, and what's been your experience with us?
Okay. Well, I'm very fortunate to have seen your flyer. I was in a shelter for veterans at the VA Northport. It's called the Beacon House, United Veterans Beacon House. It's on the campus of the VA at Northport, and there was a flyer posted in our dining room. And I said, "Oh, good. Another good organization, I'm sure," because I saw the other things that you offered besides the food and clothing. You had meditation, and you had the Zoom where you can talk about mental health issues and things like that. So I made a beeline over here. I said, I got to meet these people, It sounded like a very good option to, other than the other things that I've been dealing with. So, and I got here, and I forgot her name.
Jade.
Jade.
And Gia. Yep.
Yeah,
Jade and Gia. Jade, Gia, and Crystal, or Jade is the co-founder of Bravo Foxtrot. Gia is the administrator, and Crystal is our event coordinator. So
Yeah, so Gia was here, and I brought a fellow veteran with me, and we were talking and whatever, and she says, well, we hardly ever get any women here, and women veterans, so I think she called you guys up, and you made a beeline over here to meet me.
yeah.
I felt very good. That made me feel very good. It was a very warm feeling. I loved it a lot. It made my heart very happy, and I try to come over here as much as I can when because I like you guys, and I like what you believe in, because I believe in it too, because we are a tribe, we veterans.
That's right.
And we can't fight this battle alone.
No.
We have to help each other, and because if we don't, then you're going to be lost, because a lot of the benefits and my getting my claim file didn't happen until 2015, and I had been out like almost
travesty.
a long time, and I had to do a lot of research on my own in order to finally get my 100%, because
That brings me to, I'm sorry to interrupt, that brings me to a good point. Really quick, before we, I want to get back to John on something, but really quick, Valerie. A lot of things for all you vets out there that are 100% total and permanent, right? Service connected. Valerie, can you speak a little bit about the some of the one in particular benefit that's available to us, and that is MAC flights, Space A. Please.
Right. Once you become 100%, there are a lot of benefits. Even life insurance. People don't even realize how much you can get, for yourself. The DoD ID card was quite simple to get. You can go online. You can Google DoD ID, or you can go to cac.mil, I think it is, and you have to make an appointment online. You don't even need to fill out, they say you have to fill out this application, but I took the application and they said we don't need that. But nevertheless, you go to this website, and there are two places you can go. The one in Nassau County, I can't remember where it is, but the one I went to was where my nephew, who's in the Air National Guard, is stationed, and that's in West Hampton at the Frank Gabrisky Air Base. It's the Air Wing, the 106th Air Wing in West Hampton Beach. It's right off of Sunrise. You can't miss it. And they'll direct you to, I think it was Building 2, and it takes 20 minutes. They take your picture and you're done, and you get your ID right then and there. So if you want to take a hop, we call them hops in the Navy.
Hops, hop
you want to take a hop anywhere in the world, you can do it, and using the space available benefit with that card, as well as the commissary and exchanges. You're allowed to go on any base around the world with this card. So.
And that's one of the things that is that it bothers, and I'm sure all of us, and I feel pretty comfortable when I say that it bothers all of us, because all of us veterans, right, regardless for the length of time that we served, we fought for our country, for the rights of it, and it's only like 1 or 2% or whatever, it's maybe up to 6% at most of the nation that enlists. We fought for the freedom of, and the rights of those who are, reaping the benefits of those, hard-won. Sorry, I'm getting a little stuck over my words. This is a tough one, but. Of those, they're reaping the benefits of what we've done for our nation.
Exactly.
So, it is of my firm belief that when we get out of the service, when we are discharged, we should not have to fight and seek out the benefits that are rightfully ours.
That's right.
We should have people fighting and seeking out us to give us the rightful benefits that we are owed. Period. Bottom line.
Right.
John, let's. I don't want to get too much into that, because I'll get on my rant. But John, now, John is a disabled vet, service connected vet. Now, Northport VA is the medical center that is available to him. John does not have a vehicle. He has a bicycle, right? And it's a nice bike, let me say. I do love that bike. But you know, moving past that point, John has no way. Now, how far is the VA Medical Center from here, John? From where you live?